Howdy y'all. Hey, it's summertime and the Wasp have been busy building nests. So I went to the store and I got a couple of these products, Eliminator Wasp and Hornet Spray and Spectricide Wasp and Hornet Spray. And so I decided I'd kind of, use a little of both and see which one did a better job. So if you're not too squeamish about watching some wasp, get sprayed, stick around and you can kind of see the results. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and use Spectracide first, and they're a Wasp and Hornet spray that claims the 27-foot spray pattern. Let's see if we can get back on these wasps. Okay, now these again, once they're yellow jackets, about a 2.5 inch by square nest, probably about 10 inhabitants on it. Let's go ahead now. I'm going to be spraying from probably about 4 feet away here. Whoa, man, there were a lot more than 10 on there. But I'll tell you what, I think I've seen 3 fly away. Every one dropped probably except for this one, and he's working on it. He may be hung up. This is Eliminator in the red can. Claims to shoot 20 feet. We'll be shooting from about 4 feet. And we'll see how many will be able to fly away as opposed to just drop straight down. The other one, I think 3 were able to fly away. Okay, here we go. This is going to be the Eliminator test. Ooh, okay. On that one, I don't believe I saw a single one fly away there. Every one. Oh, there might have been one fly away. Yeah, there's one flying away. I see him. There's still a little movement. You can see that one's still moving around a little bit. This one's barely got any movement left in him. But they all pretty much just fell straight away. So, all right, now this nest here is about, I don't know, 2 inches by 2 inches, inch and a half, and I'm going to go ahead and spray some of this Spectracide first on them. And I'll be shooting from probably really close up, about 3 feet here, so the 27-foot thing won't matter a great deal. But let's see what happens if we can tell if they fall straight down or if they can fly away. Alright, here we go with Spectricide Wasp and Hornet Killer. Okay, I don't see a single one fly away. That one's a goner. That one ain't moving much. That one's still moving around a little bit, but that one is totally still, as is that one. So I'd say most all of them, it pretty well put the hammer on, man. I don't see any of them on the nest. They all dropped off of there. Now I've also noticed I've got some of these wasps over here on my window. Now it says on the directions that we're supposed to kind of wait till last light there, because I think most of them come back to the nest at night and they don't fly around quite as much, so you won't have as many scouts out and about when you hit the nest. So probably best to wait till last light or very first thing in the morning. But I'm going to go ahead and try this. Now I'm going to be using this Eliminator Wasp and Hornet Spray. There's probably about 10 or 12 on this particular nest. Let's see, there's a couple of them up top there, even a little bit. I'm going to try and hit those as well. Oh yeah, it blew them. I think I had one fly away, I saw. How well you'll be able to see that, but they're pretty well goners. So both of them really did a good job on, seems like, incapacitating them right straight away. Okay, here's another nest. This one measures probably, I don't know, 2 inches by an inch. It looks like it has, maybe 10 wasps on it. These are, again, yellow jackets, and I'm going to go ahead and hit them with this Spectricide Wasp and Hornet. Probably from about 3 or 4 feet. And let's see how many of them will fall off this one. Oh yeah, I got them pretty good. And again, right down here beneath the nest, boom, they are laid out cold. Now this next nest is a little bit unique situation. For some reason, the wasp, and these are yellow jackets, they seem to be kind of not just right on their nest, but kind of all around their nest. I don't know if it's just hot and they're trying to stay cool or what, but they seem to be spreading out. So I'm going to have to really spray around a lot on this one. So this one's going to be the Eliminator test. Shoots up to 20 feet. I'll be shooting probably from about 4 or 5 feet here, but anyway, this is the Eliminator test on this one. Here we go. And I don't see any of them fly away. Some of them kind of came down and got hung up. Ooh, there's one that's trying to fly away. But they seem to be flying onto this screen here. This is kind of my outdoor shower area. And man, it blew them all off the wall there. There's a few of them that are over here that are on the screen. That one kind of froze up on the screen, and then got that one over there that looks like he may be having trouble. The rest of them came down here, and there's a few that maybe didn't get quite as much of the poison on them, but they're buzzing around like they ain't gonna get back up. Okay, now the next day I've come back to take a look at these wasp nests, and I wanted to see if they could re-inhabit after being sprayed. And the one that I sprayed originally with Spectricide over here, it does in fact have what appears to be 3 living wasps that have come back onto it. So I don't know. It must have not left such a residue that the wasp felt, you know, threatened by it or whatever. So anyway, they are back on that nest. But the one that I sprayed with Eliminator over here on this side, you can see that there are no wasps that came back on it. And I don't know if that's, you know, because there weren't any scouts out when I hit the nest and there just weren't any that come back or what. But anyway, the Eliminator one does not have any scouts that have returned and been able to re-inhabit the nest, while the Spectricide one does have some wasps that have been able to come back and re-establish on that one. Right, well that concludes my test of the Eliminator Wasp and Hornet and the Spectracide Wasp and Hornet killer. And you know, this one claims that it'll shoot 27 feet, but I didn't really, you know, have to shoot up at any high gable ends or anything, so all my shooting was pretty much done from, you know, 4 or 5 feet. And anyway, on the glass, I sprayed a little bit. Well, I attacked the nest with the Spectricide, then I sprayed a little bit extra on the glass just to see, you know, which one would maybe leave a residue. And as it turns out, they both kind of left a little bit of residue on the glass. Nothing really bad, but you know, my window needed cleaning anyway. And I also noticed that on the Spectricide, the first nest that I shot over there, about the 2-inch by 2-inch one, it the next day did have 3 new occupants that came back and were able to re-inhabit the nest. I don't know if there were some scouts out when I shot them. It wasn't really right at last light, so there were some that were able to come back and re-establish that nest. Whereas with the Eliminator, all the nests that I shot the next day, there weren't any wasps that came back on it. So I don't know if I just missed some with the Spectricide that day, or if I just got them all with this one or not. But I didn't see any that flew away anyway when I shot it with the Eliminator. So I'm going to say that at this point I'm leaning a little bit towards the Eliminator being the better of the two, and the reason for that is just because with the Spectricide there were 3 wasps that were able to come back and get on the nest and act like they were, you know, trying to rebuild it or, you know, hang out on it or whatever. Whereas over here with the Eliminator, there weren't any. So anyway, I hope that information helps you. They're both fairly inexpensive, about $350, so I think you'll be happy with the performance of either one. You know, if you can get them when all the wasps are on the nest and knock them all down, it really does seem to kill them if you can get it on them. But in terms of them being able to come back and get on the nest, I think the Eliminator seems to be the better product, at least as far as my testing goes. But you might give it a try since they're both fairly inexpensive, and see what your results are. Anyway, I hope this information's helped. Hope y'all have a great summer.